Good evening, boys and ghouls, and welcome to tonight's GAMETOBER episode of Happy Beard Games. Tonight's game, we are playing the Addams family's Uncle Fester's Quest, also known as Fester's Quest. This is a game for the Nintendo Entertainment System, the Nintendo NES. It came out in about 1989. And it is based on the Addams Family series and features many of the same characters. And you take on the role of Uncle Fester. Now, in this game, Fester's Quest, Uncle Fester has to save the town from an alien invasion of sorts. It starts out with an opening cutscene where Uncle Fester's just chilling on his lawn chair. And then, all of a sudden, a UFO, an alien spaceship, arrives. And the next thing you know, you jumped into the gameplay where you've got hordes of alien monsters throughout the town, in the sewers, and all around the buildings. You're trying to get to find these clues, and I believe the clues are to a spaceship. And once you get all those clues, I believe the game ends. Now, the reason I say I believe this game ends, because I have never made it that far in this game. This game is very difficult. It's one of those games where you have 2 hits and you die. It's one of those games where there's hordes of enemies, relentless, they spawn very fast. In some cases, they even multiply out of each other, so there'll be like one enemy, and then it'll split into another enemy, and then that enemy will split into 2 more enemies. And it's also one of those games where you gotta button mash very, very fast. So in tonight's video, we're going to be using a special controller, and that is the NES Advantage, the Nintendo Advantage controller. It's a joystick arcade-style controller for the NES made by Nintendo, and the reason I'm using this is because it uses a turbo feature. You can use a turbo feature on either A or B, so we're going to be using the turbo feature on the game Fester's Quest. It'll save us a lot of clicking speed. Not only will it save us time and help us with the gameplay, it'll help you viewers because you won't have to listen to my button mashing for the next 20 minutes. Alright guys, let's jump in with Fester's Quest on the NES, Nintendo Entertainment System, Happy Beard Games, GAMETOBER 2. Start button, here we go. Activate my turbo for the shoot. Where's the shoot? There we go. Oh, that is a nice scream. For example, if I were to, per se, using a normal button press, this is what it would look like. Now with the turbo button, that's a fast button press. Let's see how fast I can go actually. That's what it looks like. Now here's with the turbo. Oh yeah, it's like a big fountain. That's one of the key elements of this game is it reacts to the slightest button press. Like, it's not like Galaga where you can shoot once and you can hit a couple enemies in a certain amount of time. It's not like that at all. It's basically like as fast as your finger can go, you can shoot that fast in this game. And it can make or break the gameplay. Alright, let's do this. Fester's Quest. It's a little bit confusing for me. I've never used the Advantage on this game before, or a turbo controller. Every time I play it, I'm like, I need to use a turbo controller. I really need this turbo controller. My hand is not comfortable. So yeah, let's explain the gameplay. Basically, you're Uncle Fester from Addams Family. I think I already covered that, but what you're doing here is you're defending the town against aliens, I'm assuming. Now, you can see all these pickups that I'm getting from these enemies. Some of them are pretty self-explanatory, like the dollars you use as money. You use the money to go to hot dog stands and buy hot dogs. Now, things that you gotta watch out for is the red gun. Now, basically, what you got here in the start menu, you see gun and whip. Whip you get later on, you don't have to worry about that at first. But the gun has 4 stages. Now, it starts out at 2. I already got it 2 higher. The blue gun symbols on the gameplay are power-ups. The red gun, like this one that's fading away, is power down. So you gotta pay attention to that. It's really important. I didn't know that at first when I first got this game. You can see that my weapon is, well, of course it's a gun, it's a ranged weapon, but you can see that it upgraded over the course of this gameplay so far. So, we are going to, this is really nice with the turbo controller, and actually, on this game in particular, the arcade stick feels very appropriate. I usually use this on like Gauntlet, and actually this is pretty dang close to Gauntlet's perspective. And the whip, you can get whip pickups too, just like the gun. They're pretty sure they're the same thing, but I have never got the whip yet, so I don't know. Here's one of those fabled hot dog stands. Now you can use money. Now how you use your items on this is a little bit simple, but all you do is push start. You go to select an item. You know, you may notice you don't have an item for all of them because they have the dot dot. That means you don't have anything. You don't have that item available yet. The things you can pick up from monsters include light bulbs. You need that to light up dark areas. Just simply select it, go back out of start, push the A button. That's how you use your items. That's how you use all the items. You also got money. I think it's $5 for a hot dog, so you gotta keep an eye on your money because the hot dog will give you full health. You've got keys. You need those to open doors to get new items from the Addams family members. Now, one other thing that I want to point out is the health. You have 2 health bars. That is 2 hits, and then you're dead. You go back to the start continue screen that I showed you before. So let's go back to the gameplay. Now what I'm going to be doing right now is going into 2 different buildings, meeting 2 more members of the Addams family, getting 2 more key items that are different. And then we're going to be heading down to the underground to fight some more alien monsters. Now you got to be really careful in this game with these tight corridors. Ooh, a gun power up. Oh, we got the black ball gun. So I'm going to select the key, push start, and then push A. And then we enter the door. Pugsley gives you TNT, and of course you lose that key. So now we've got TNT. It's dynamite. We've got TNT, and this is a really, really handy weapon. You can drop it, and you can run, and it'll explode either at a limited amount of time, or when an enemy touches it, which is really cool. It's like the bombs on Zelda. So you have to get a very precise aim. And sometimes you can kind of peek around these corners, of course. Okay, there we go. Got some more money. This is really nice with the advantage. I'm not even, like, advertising or, you know, trying to popularize the advantage or anything. Man, this is really nice. I haven't used this controller in a long time, mostly because when I do videos, it's really loud. But this is nice. This is nice. I don't even have to button mash. It's like, this actually makes this game fun. My main complaint about this game, by the way, guys, is the button mashing and the health. You have very low health in this game. Yeah, we didn't make it. Let's start over, guys. Now remember, when you die, select continue. And I know I'm going to die a few times here, but I'm not really doing that bad, honestly. When you die, you're going to die a lot in this game. I'm going to be honest with you guys, this game is very difficult. But now we're back here. Now when you choose continue, you do keep all your gun pickups. You keep all your items at the same amount, which is really nice. The only thing you're missing out on is you have to go back to the start of the level. Which is a real pain because this level is... It's not really that long or that big when you really look at it. But it is tedious. You see how these enemies, they just respawn right away? It's like that throughout the whole level. And if you don't like that, this probably isn't the game for you. This is probably why this game gets such a bad reputation. It's so difficult and it's frustrating how the enemies come on so fast. Here's an enemy that doesn't really spawn every time, but there's this weird, like, floaty face that shoots out either bees or larvae that hatch into bees. It's kind of interesting. We've got this hot dog stand we gotta defend. Not really, but there's a... Oh, it's a whip. Now, I probably could have made it out of that other part a little more successfully, but what I'm trying to do... I'm gonna select TNT first. What I'm trying to do is get to that house. Because if I use a key on it, I can get another item. And I kind of need it. It's not... Well, it's not really the most important item in the game. What it is the vice grips, and it allows you to, if you get stung by a bee, you'll slow down. Your character will slow down. It'll allow you to break out of that. So I'm actually going to skip that for now, just to save time, and just because I really don't use that item hardly at all. So what you want to do when you go underground, before you go underground, select the light bulb from your start menu, and then go underground. When you're there, just push A. You'll be starting out with the lights on. It's really weird. I mean, it's a weird system. It's kind of like the lamp in Zelda, like A Link to the Past, but it's just weird. It's like every time you go underground, it's dark. So then you just throw on a light bulb, and then it stays light the whole level. It's just kind of weird to me. It's like, okay, why do you have to do that? It's just kind of hard to get the aim. See, I don't really like this gun that much, but I like the next gun. So once I upgrade it, it always goes in a straight order. So you have to get the upgrades to the next gun. And this part's really get kind of hard. I might actually go back and exit. I don't know. Let's see. That green blob down there is one of my least favorite enemies in the game, and you'll see why. I'm gonna select TNT because we're gonna need that. Oh, I got him. And there's a gun upgrade. Yes! This is the second to last most powerful gun. Now, you see how it shoots 2 shots? It's kind of hard to aim underground too. But if you can get to the third one, it'll shoot 3, so it'll shoot 1 in the middle. See how there's 2 on each side? Well, when you get the highest gun, it'll shoot 1 in the middle as well. So it's very, very nice to have that high gun upgrade. So just pay attention to what guns you see on the ground. Do not pick up the reds, pick up the blues. It's pretty simple, but the first time I played this, and on my previous video, I did not know that. I didn't understand it at all. And it's pretty simple, though. It doesn't really have that much of a blast radius. It seems like when you hold down the turbo, you get a shorter range for whatever reason. It's almost like they know. These frogs are actually normally really tough, and this part of the stage takes quite a while with a standard NES controller. But for me right now, this is going pretty smooth. Now these guys, the green ones, have a special attack where they launch out their tongue. There's different variations on the enemies, and you can tell they're different because of the color of the enemy. The orange frogs are a little bit weaker and they die faster. And there's a stronger one later on that's purple, I believe. And that one can shoot out 3 blasts of some kind of poison that'll injure you. The blue ones are pretty weak too, just hit them 1 shot and they'll be gone. We took care of that really fast. See now, those green things, those green blobs, they multiply out of themselves. And then the parts that they multiply out of can multiply again. So it's like an endless array of the same enemy. And in that way, it makes it so when you're fighting him, he can push you back through the level because you can't get past him. Now, later on in the game, you'll pick up an invisibility potion, which isn't just invisibility, it's invincibility as well. You can walk through enemies, and you'll be invisible. But I think they'll still chase you, so it's more of an invincibility than an invisibility. You gotta watch that S and C there, but it's a really good potion. It's a potion that you get 5 uses of. You can restock it every time you get a key. You can go back to that house and get it just like the other items. We'll begin that in a few moments. Just trek through this underground labyrinth. There's a red gun. I don't want to walk there just yet because I don't want to take the chance of picking that up. Because I'm 1 step away from getting the best gun in the game. Or at least the best gun currently, as far as I know. I don't know, there could be more to this game that I just don't know about. I haven't made it too much further in this game. I've made it past the first boss, though. This is a very difficult game, guys. I'm surprised at how difficult this is. And I've played some tough games before. Mickey's Mousecapade. That was one of them. But this is another step above on Nintendo Hard. Now here's those ones that shoot out the blasts. Now it is important to notice... Oh, there's my gun. I gotta get that. I gotta get that. Hold on, guys. We gotta get that. We gotta get that. Got it. Got it. Look, see, it's 3. It's not a wave either. It's just a continuous blast of 3 cones. This is what I wanted to mention earlier. Is there's another hot dog stand right here, over to the right, once you get out of the sewers. Now we're gonna actually have to go to another sewers a little bit later, but there's some other stuff I want to get before we head back down to the second part of the sewers. It's pretty important, I believe, if this is the right one that I'm thinking of. There's a house down here. So you gotta be very careful to get past those guys. However, we do have the best gun, so we are gonna kick some alien butts for a little while. Let's switch over to the key. Let's see what we got in store here. Thing gives you potions. These are highly important. They will give you health. And so basically every time you get hit once, you want to use that because you're going to need that health. And now I'm reminding myself personally, do not forget, Kevin, do not forget to use your TNT if I get stuck. Now, I'm doing pretty good with this turbo controller, but, yeah, this game is like, it's made for the turbo controller. I mean, or maybe the other way around, because this is like, I feel like I'm cheating. I mean, I'm like twice as good with this thing now. The only thing that I'm a little, not used to with the turbo controller is that the movement is not a D-pad, it's a joystick, so I'm a little hard at dodging right now. Well, now that I've got the highest gun upgrade, I've got to watch out for all the gun pickups, because they're going to keep coming. Now, this is a weird part that I don't understand. I don't think I need anything to get in there. Oh, wait, I just dropped my TNT. Maybe I need a key. I don't understand. I'll show you it, though. Let's try the key, just in case. It switches to a first-person perspective. It's really weird, guys. It's like a 3D, image. And I don't really understand the point of this part, but later on you go through a building, and that's when you reach the first boss. However, you don't fight him in a 3D perspective, as we'll soon see. I don't know what the point of this room is, so we're just gonna leave, but you can get out. You can go out a different door, and it'll take you out the side up here. But I haven't really figured out if there's anything to do in that building or not, because it's just really confusing. The second building is a little bit smaller, but, or at least it seems smaller, because I can get to the boss a little more straightforward. Now we're heading to another underground part, but before we do that, there's another building up here, another Addams Family house. We're going to, why am I still shooting? It's just so much fun to see it. We need the key, and we got the invisible potions, once again from the Thing. Thing gives me invisible potions. Let's go back. Now I'm gonna, see my inventory. I've got potion and invisible potion. Once again, invisible makes you immune to attacks for a short amount of time, and yes, you can use that on the boss, and yes, it works on bosses' attacks. I know it looks weird because I'm shooting the whole time, but you always want to be looking ahead in this game. I'm going to switch over to bulb. Let's fire that bulb out. You always want to be ahead of the game, because these guys will spawn off screen and they'll be jumping at you before you can even react, in most cases. So you gotta really watch. See how they're appearing right at the edge of the screen there. So we've got to be very careful, and it's weird because sometimes the spawning in this game of monsters is a little wonky. It's just like, sometimes you'll be playing, and then, okay, you'll die, you'll get to continue, you play the same part. I've had this area that I'm in right now have no monsters in it before. I'm like, okay, that's cool, but it makes it seem unfair. That's the only thing I don't like. It's cool when it happens, because you get a break, but it is unfair. Now watch out for these rats. They hug the walls. So that's why I'm kind of trying to aim at the walls. If you walk in the middle, you can kind of dodge the rats sometimes, but it's a little tricky. It may look like some of these enemies take like one hit to kill, or they're easy, but keep in mind I do have the highest gun upgrade. And, once again, the turbo, it helps a lot with the shots. I am not even going to walk into that mess of items, because that's a lot of items. I don't know what I could pick up or not, and I see something red in there. Alrighty, Uncle Fester, let's break on through the other side. It's a really interesting gun system. On most games, you'll run out of ammo, or the gun will disappear at a certain amount of time. But on this, it's just you mess up by picking it up, and you're from your own fault, you will lose your gun. Now I'm going to be preparing myself to get up here. We're almost at the boss. We're almost at the boss. Now I have all the pickups I need. I should be able to beat the boss, but I'm a little hard at dodging, and you do really need to dodge on this boss. So let's switch to the key. There you have to do a key to get in there. Whew, I need to calm myself. Calm yourself, Kevin. It's okay. You can do this, boss. You have a turbo controller. You have all the items. Just remember to pause when you get hit. And it's really frustrating, guys. Like, I was playing this last night for practice and I couldn't beat it, but it was weird because I had all the items and I couldn't beat it. But before, when I didn't know how to play, I beat it. So I don't know what I was doing there, but I got lucky, I guess. I think sometimes when I'm playing a game and I don't have all the items, I feel like I'm a little more serious. and I can like focus on it more. I'm like, oh, I have to do this now. But then when I have items, I'm like, okay, I got it. And then I'm like, oh no, I died. Okay, so let's just jump into this boss fight. If I can find the right door. I don't want to go out the wrong door, and I kind of got turned around already, so I know what the door looks like, but I don't know if it looks the same as the other door. This path isn't really that hard to navigate normally, but I believe this is it, so I'm going to push start. I'm going to select Invisible Potion, and let's jump in. Here's the boss fight, guys. We're doing good. We're making good time. When it starts to move, I will use my invisibility potion. You don't have to go back to select it. Once it's selected, you can use it as much as you need to until it runs out. I remember I have a few of them. Oh my gosh, we beat the boss! Yes! That was awesome. This turbo controller saved the day. Yeah, that was awesome. And then we go down here, and we get a little bit more. But you may notice we have the first quarter portion, I believe it's a quarter portion, it looks like it is, of the clue. And I believe it's like an alien ship, because the bad guys are aliens once again, in Fester's Quest. Now I'm gonna play a little bit further until I die, because this is getting pretty awesome. And I don't think I've ever made it very much further in this game. Every time I play this game, I'm like, I need to use a turbo controller. I even bought a turbo controller online, the one with the slidey thumbstick. I don't know what it's called right now. The Max Pad or something. But it's from Nintendo, it's for the NES. But it was broken, and I was really sad at that point. And then I think that's when I kind of gave up on this game. Even though the whole time I had an advantage of sitting in my drawer. And yeah, it really helps. So if you get this game, give it a few tries, and then switch to a turbo controller. I cannot emphasize that enough, because it is awesome with the turbo controller. It makes and breaks this game for most people, I'd assume, because this game is just so much easier now. It's almost too easy. Yeah, it is almost too easy. Like, I don't know how I did that. There's some new enemies that you can actually find in the other sewers briefly. They're like little ball enemies. You may have seen them appear briefly, but, like that thing that I just shot. I don't know. I really want to see how this game goes, because I didn't make it past this part very far, and I don't know if there's a level 2, so I don't know if you whoa! They can go through walls. Oh my god. That's scary. I'm gonna have to jump on that, oh, they go through the ground. Whoa. Whoa. I don't know if I've ever been up here. If I have, I don't remember it. This is cool. I mean, I really want to know, like, more about this game just because it's interesting and it's hard. You don't get to go here every single day, you know? It's a tough game to get to progress in. These are weird enemies. That you can actually find them earlier in the game, too. There's, like, hoppy, like, Metroid-looking things. I don't know, they kind of look like Metroids or bugs. I think it's a fun game. I don't know why, but I just think I have a lot of fun with it. Maybe because I like these, sort of hack-and-slash over-the-top things like Gauntlet. But at the same time, it's fun. And by the way, guys, I did not emphasize this at all yet, but this game has a great soundtrack. Not only does it have a cool remix in 8-bit of course 8-bit, but of the Addams Family theme, which I really like, the remix of it on here at the title screen. But the in-game music is really cool. It's not quite up there with Mega Man or Castlevania, but it's kind of got that similar sound to like a Mega Man. Oh, this is just the top of the screen, I guess. There's nothing else up here. It's just like a highway. Oh my god! Ah! Keep it away! I don't have my... That was scary. That was close. I don't have my TNT selected because I thought I was going good. I didn't... That was a scary monster! That was scary. Unpause. I'm gonna leave a TNT present for this guy. Oh, it's just a normal monster. I thought it was like a new boss. Oh look! A Sunsoft logo. Ha 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 ha! This game's made by Sunsoft, by the way, guys. In case you didn't know that by now. It's a manhole. I don't know what that would do. Is that a bad thing, or do I go down it? I must have to go down it, because there's a hot dog stand. There's a manhole. I guess you go down the manhole. Oh, we got a light bulb. Oh no. There we go. Switch back to TNT. How many potions do I have? I only have one potion left. I think kind of spazzed out. You can actually use the potions when you have full health, I believe. and you don't want to waste them. So we're treading into new territory. I know I've never played this far in this game. That's where I came in, that ladder. That's what I'm looking for, ladders like that. The thing right there, but where do I go? I didn't see any other ladders. I'm gonna walk back and just check, because that rat. Ranch ramp! Are we going here? This little crack? No, I was thinking it was like Zelda where you can break open a crack in the wall. Because I didn't think you could do that, but I never saw a crack in the wall until now. If you know where to go, and I don't figure out by the end of this video, let me know in the comments, because I am lost. If I can figure out how to progress further in this game before GameTober is over, I will come back. I don't want to stop playing that much, guys. This is a fun game. Once you start going on it, and if you have an advantage, an NES advantage, that is, you can have some fun with this game. It has a good soundtrack, it has a funny but strange, weird premise of the Addams Family with a sci-fi alien twist. I don't know, it's a fun game. It has a lot of cool items. As the gun upgrades, the bosses are actually challenging. I know it didn't really seem like that, but it actually is challenging in a normal circumstance. And it's a pretty fun game. I think it gets a bad rep because of its difficulty, maybe. It's a little weird. Doesn't have very much health, and you have to button mash. But it's a fun game at its core. I think Fester's Quest is one of my... Well, I don't know if I could say it's one of my favorites, but it's one of my funner games on the NES that I actually enjoy to play once in a while. So yeah, that's Fester's Quest on the Nintendo Entertainment System. This has been Kevin from Happy Beard Games, your source for classic gaming goodness on GameTober 2. Until next time, Happy Beard Games, I'll see you then. Happy Beard Games, oh!